put down your pencils. At once, Mildred Hubble. Place your exams and answer sheets on my desk. And walk quietly down the corridor.
It's over. Last one. Last one, last one, last one. Last one, last one, last one. Last one, last one, last one. Last one, last one. Last one, last one, last one. Last one. End of exams. Last one, last one, last one. Last one, last one.
What is going on here? Exams may be over, but the school term most certainly isn't.
It's so unfair.
They always are. Your move.
The exams are over. Why can't they just let us go home?
Give us time off at least.
Time off?
What? When they can make us wander around wet bogs picking pommy with crotchet.
Hey, that's brilliant. What? The drawing. Hard Broom the Horrible.
That's just how she is. Stick it on the wall and throw darts at it.
They probably bounce right off her.
Why don't you all bunk off this afternoon?
Where to?
There's a fair on in the village. Waltzes, white knuckle rides, the drop of death.
Magic.
Better than herb hunting.
What if Cratchit calls the register?
We'll take care of that.
Fourth year secret.
You lot get tucked up. Go and enjoy yourselves. You deserve it.
Oh, it's just high stilts. I remember when I finished exams, I needed to let my hair down.
Then we must have had very different needs, Miss Drill. Miss Cackle.
Not now, Constance. I'm already late for my spells class.
This is the most difficult third year we've ever had at the academy, and I'm afraid Miss Drill is partly responsible.
Ridiculous.
This whole idea of yours of allowing them their own space, their smuggler's den under the library.
The dangerous old book
A
society.
complete failure.
They love it.
Yes, that's because they're allowed to get away with whatever they want down there.
They learn independence.
They learn willful disobedience. They have become wild and rebellious, almost like teenagers.
Coast is clear.
Ethel Hallow,
Yes, Miss Cratchit.
Drusilla Paddock,
Yes, Miss Cratchit.
Mildred Hubble,
Yes, Miss Cratchit.
Maud Moonshine,
Yes, Miss Cratchit.
Jadoo Wally,
Yes, Miss Cratchit.
Griselda Blackwood.
Yes, miss. Hard Broom.
And, of course, Vanilla Feverfew, the old voice spell, eh? And where, may I ask, are the girls you have been impersonating? Now listen to me, you two. As fourth years, I expect you to set an example to the younger girls, not encourage their misbehaviour. I'm going to give you one more chance to tell me what Mildred Hubble and her hangers-on are up to, or suffer the consequences. Very well. Vanilla, when you've finished mopping the corridor, you can start on the classrooms. Every single one. And Griselda, I want the windows clean too. You two have always been too clever by half. But I shall see to it at least that your pernicious influence on the third years comes to an end.
You can't check every face, especially when the whole school's there. Besides, Fenny and Grizz did sound exactly like them.
The sooner those two get off to Weird Sister College, the better. Now are you convinced?
I'm convinced you're making a mountain out of a molehill.
I don't need to. The mole is by far the more dangerous.
Moley, Ratty, Mr. Badger, harmless little woodland creatures.
Moles dig holes. They undermine.
You just don't want to let them grow up.
Oh, but I do. I want them to grow up immediately, without all that revolting teenage business in between. Who knows what they're up to out there?
They've probably gone to Cozy's cafe for some cream cakes and lemonade.
Miss Cackle's already checked on Cozy's. But wherever those young birds have flown off to, there's a little surprise waiting for them. Back in their nest.
There they are all standing in a row. Big ones, small ones, some as big as your head. Give them a twist, a flick of the wrist, that's what the showman said.
The drop of death. What a ride.
Oh, don't, I feel sick just thinking about it.
Oh, Catherine, my goldfish. Took me 20 shots to win her.
Some sharp suitor.
I'm going to call mine Ethel. What are you going to call your teddy, Jadu?
Cackle, because she's round and plump with big starey eyes.
Cackle hasn't got starey eyes. They're more like searching eyes. She tries to give the impression she knows everything, but really, she hasn't got
A clue.
She won't do anything.
Who won't?
Miss Cackle.
She will. She must.
Oh, must she? I may only have been here a year, Miss Hardbroom, but being a chanting teacher, I know what the score is. Miss Hardbroom, you will demand a crackdown on discipline. Miss Drill will plead for mercy. I will make a sensible suggestion, which will be ignored. Miss Cackle will make a long and tedious speech, and everything will carry on, as usual.
Never! Never since I became headmistress of this school.
What's happened, Miss Cackle?
Look at my eyes, Miss Drill. How do they seem to you?
Ablaze.
They are the eyes of a woman who has been too kind, too understanding, too soft. Miss Cackle, do you know what that Jadu Wally said? She said that I wasn't entitled to sneak up on them in Dobbs because it was a private club and technically outside the authority of the school. You were right, Constance. You've been right all along. Perhaps you've always been right.
In what way?
Standards, discipline, back to basics.
Miss Cackle.
We have tried your way, Miss Drill, and it hasn't worked. You have become too close to the third-year girls to see them for what they are.
Which is?
Wild and rebellious.
And what do you think has made them that way? If we showed some toleration...
That is the problem, Miss Drill. Too much toleration. And not enough discipline. In future, uniforms will be worn at all times by girls of all years in the correct manner. The so-called dangerous old book society and anything like it will cease to function.
Perhaps I didn't shuffle them properly.
Exams may be over, but classes will continue as normal.
Work will be presented in a neat and orderly fashion. There will be extra study in the evenings, and for those who continue to cause trouble, extra study at daybreak. In addition, you are all confined to the school buildings until the end of the term, whether you were involved in this ridiculous escapade or not. And if I see anyone even thinking about the possibility of causing mischief, they will be for the chop. The expression, I believe, girls, is zero tolerance.
0. Nothing. That's all we're allowed to do now. Nothing, 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 till the end of term.
And probably nothing all next year as well.
You and your stupid Dobbs. Because of you, they've banned our cauldron club as well. It's all your fault.
It's our fault, Fen and me. We hadn't encouraged you.
To go to the fair, as if that was the wickedest thing in the world. Here we are again, blaming ourselves. Why shouldn't it be their fault? Why shouldn't we go to the fair if we want to? Just because we're witches? Why shouldn't we behave like any other young girls for once in a while? Why don't we make a fight of it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
We were just...
You were just saying what you thought, Jadu. And, in many respects, I'm inclined to agree with you.
You don't think we've gone too far, do you? Too far? We are gathering the fruits of strong and consistent leadership. We are speaking with one voice. What about Miss Drill? She's hardly said a word since she walked out of the staff room yesterday.
Oh, I'm sure she'll come round in good time. She agreed to run the third-year extra study group this evening.
She said something about politics and citizenship.
Jolly good. That should keep them quiet for half an hour.
Tell her to sit down.
Not until you stop talking such complete rubbish. We come to school to learn from those who know better. We can't run things to suit ourselves.
I'm not saying we run the place. I'm saying we want to say.
No to uniforms. See what I mean? It's ridiculous. A witch without a hat, a cape.
You can't expect to make decisions like this. How can you expect the staff to listen to you if you can't even listen to yourselves?
Well, I think we should be doing proper study. We aren't learning anything here.
We're learning to listen. We're learning to express ourselves. Put your hands up and talk to the chair.
Mildred.
Miss Jo's right. We should take votes on everything, and everyone should stand by the results.
I'll make a list.
No picking on girls for silly things.
Like bootlaces.
Time off every week. Third years to be allowed out late.
All clubs and societies to be reinstated. And no more extra study periods.
TVs and radios to be allowed.
Electricity. And more chips for dinner.
Drusilla?
And not to have to go outside for breaks in the freezing cold.
And PE to be voluntary.
Oh, hold on a minute. All right, take a vote, but you may not get everything you vote for.
I don't think we'll get anything we vote for. It's just sour grapes. We'd all be better off if you lot just kept your noses clean until they'd forgotten about us. Anyway, you'll never get the rest of the school behind you.
She's got a point. Fen and Grizz are the only fourth years worth talking to. Most of the first and second years are too afraid of HB to make a squeak.
So you're all going to give up? Before you've even started?
But you have made a start, Jadu. Rome wasn't built in a day. The important thing is you've had a chance to express yourselves, and we can discuss how to take our ideas further at the next meeting.
We don't need more discussion. We need to move on. Let's meet up in the dungeons tonight. I've had an idea.
What did you say that for?
What?
About more chips and not going out for breaking the cold?
Because I think it's true.
Who cares what you think, stupid? This is all going to blow up in their faces.
How?
I just know, and I'm having no part in it. But you're either with me or you're with them, so you better decide now. Well?
Why are we here? In the dungeons, in the middle of the night?
We've gone underground.
But why?
To start a newspaper.
Oh, an underground newspaper.
Correct.
You flipped.
It just means it's a secret, that's all. We want to reach all the girls in the school. Get them thinking for themselves. Well, an underground newspaper's the way to do it. We're going to write everything we think in it. All our demands, and lots of wicked jokes as well.
Hardroom and Cackle will go bonkers.
They're bound to suspect us.
But they won't be able to prove anything.
Unless Ethel and Drusilla snitch on us. That's what I'm worried about.
Well, you don't have to. Not about me, at any rate. Ethel's a Hallow. Her father's chair of governors. She's never going to be any different. But if she mentions one word about this, I'll make her wish she hadn't. Anyway, it's true about what you said. We should be able to have more fun. And more chips.
Right. So what are we going to call this underground newspaper?
The Hatchet?
A bit bloodthirsty.
Something to do with the fair.
Fair. That's it. Fair play all round. We'll call it the fairground.
Brilliant. When do we start work?
Listen to this. Cackle's pupils demand an end to petty and restrictive rules and a say in the running of the academy. When was the last time anyone listened to you? Secret protest meeting in the Great Hall today, Saturday at 3 o'clock.
Don't let the teachers take you for a ride. Don't miss our mad magical roller coaster ride simulation after the meeting.
How do we do that?
It's a simple visual illusion spell.
Yes, but if it works, they'll be laughing and screaming and the teachers are bound to hear. They'll guess something's up. All the girls missing and this racket coming from the Great Hall.
They won't hear a whisper. There'll be a ring of silence round it.
Yes, but you need a magic potion painted all round it without a break. They'll see us doing it.
No, they won't. It's nearly already done already.
No slacking, girls. You haven't finished paying for your wickedness by a long chalk.
We've done the classrooms and we've almost finished the corridors, Miss Hardbroom.
Good. You can start on the Great Hall next.
Oh, careful, Miss Hardbroom. It's unlucky to pass under ladders.
Oh, yes. And I'm born under Capricorn, so my knees will give way. In the year of the pig, so I won't be miserable about it as long as I carry a blue crystal to strengthen my aura. You're the only witch I know who believes in all that poppycock.
I drew the tumbling tower card today. Riot and revolution.
There will be, if you don't hurry upstairs and take the third year's extra study group.
I've been. Ethel's there, but there's no sign of the rest.
I wonder which little boat hole they might be hiding away.
The lads, look out!
Sorry, Miss Hardbroom.
Well, that's the inside sorted. Articles, jokes, editorial. We just need a fun front page.
How about this? The drawing I did of Hardbroom in the exam, but I put the other teachers in as well.
That's brilliant. That's really funny, Millie. There's just one thing that bothers me. How are we going to make all the copies without a printing machine?
How's it going?
She nearly caught us.
And you, but we caused a diversion.
And we finished the job.
We mixed some roundabout potion in with Great Hall washing water as well. We're perfectly safe in there tomorrow.
Have you seen this?
It's only meant to be some fun.
I think it's terrific.
Well done, Millie. That just about sums them up.
I hope it has that effect on all our readers.
But what if the staff were to find out?
No one should suspect a thing. Absolutely top secret. All we need to do now is make sure everybody gets a copy before the meeting.
Just a moment. Something is going on. I don't know what. But I will know. And I want you to remember what I said about zero tolerance. Any slight offence, and it's the chop.
She really means it. We've got to tell HB what's going on, or she's going to think we're part of it. We've got our futures to think about.
But I am part of it. And the only future you're going to have to worry about is this evening. And what's going to happen to you if you breathe one word about this to HB.
Ethel Hallow,
Yes, Miss Harborough?
I'd like to have a little chat with you about the future. Miss Crotchet foresees riot and revolution. What do you think is on the cards for this afternoon, Ethel?
We'll have our ride. But first we have a few things to sort out.
The Fairground is your newspaper, fighting for a fairer future for all. We want to be able to go to the teachers and demand a say in the running of our academy.
But first we must go through our manifesto and take a vote on each.
Number 1, uniforms not to be compulsory on trips out of school.
Number 2, no favouritism.
And number 3, more chips.
I hope what you're telling me is the truth, Ethel. There doesn't appear to be a sound coming from the hall.
Why exactly have you summoned us here, Miss Hardbroom?
I think you know very well, Miss Drill.
Actually, I don't.
Have you seen or heard any of the girls in the last half hour?
Well, no.
They all keep well out of sight these days. The safest thing with this zero tolerance is to stay in bed.
They are not in bed. They are in here, planning a revolution, as we shall soon see.
That was quick.
Were they there? I don't know. Come in with me, Miss Cackle.
That was double quick.
Like a revolving door.
It's a roundabout spell.
These girls, Miss Cackle, have taken us all for a ride.
We didn't do anything wrong. We weren't going to have a riot or a revolution.
We just wanted our voices to be heard.
Really? Well, that's not the way we go about it at Cackles. Next Thursday, there will be the usual election for head girl and deputy. It is they who will be responsible for representing your views to the staff.
And since you are so eager to express yourselves in writing, we will expect a 5,000-word essay by then from each of you entitled The Correct Way to Behave at Cackle's Academy.
Apart from Mildred and Jadu, you may leave. I'm sure you realize, both of you, how hurt and insulted members of staff feel at how you view them.
But Miss Cackle, we don't...
No, Mildred. I don't want to hear any more. It's not just that you obviously think so little of me, but that any show of leniency on my part only has you laughing behind my back.
It is clear now that it is you two, rather than Fenella and Griselda, who have been the chief stirrers-up of discontent.
We know, Mildred, that you have had difficulty fitting into Cackles. We have done our best to make allowances, but I can see now that we've been wasting our time. With you, Jadu, who up till now has shown so much promise, we are bitterly disappointed.
Won't you let us explain?
We have heard and read quite enough already, Jadu.
Miss Hardbroom has asked for the immediate expulsion of both of you. But I'm not going to blight your future in that way. Instead, I'm going to ask your parents to withdraw you voluntarily. Until that time, you will be kept in isolation.
You have been warned. You have been warned 100 times. You have brought this entirely upon yourself.